Forget what the textbooks told you. Groundbreaking discoveries of hybrid human fossils are emerging, and they are about to shatter our understanding of evolution. These are not just new bones, they are evidence of a hidden chapter in human history that could redefine our very species. Are you ready to see the truth about our ancestors? Before we begin, make sure you stay with me until the very end, because the final discovery we will explore may change the way you see yourself and your place in the human story forever. And if you enjoy uncovering the untold chapters of our past, consider subscribing so you never miss the scientific breakthroughs that continue to rewrite what we thought we knew about ourselves. For generations, the story of human evolution was taught as a simple, straight line. The idea was clear in every schoolbook illustration. We began as primitive ape-like ancestors. We slowly evolved into more upright, intelligent forms, and eventually modern humans emerged, replacing all other human species. This linear model was easy to grasp, easy to draw, and seemed to make perfect sense. But as more fossils have been discovered, and as genetic science has advanced, this tidy story has begun to unravel. In the last few decades, archaeological digs in Africa, Europe, and Asia have unearthed fossil remains that do not fit neatly into the classic timeline. Some show a mix of anatomical traits from species we thought were entirely separate. Jawbones that resemble one species, but with teeth from another. Skulls with the brow ridges of archaic humans, but brain case shapes closer to our own. These hybrid features challenge the idea that each species lived and evolved in complete isolation. Instead, they suggest that there were moments in history when different human species met, interacted, and produced offspring. One striking example comes from Siberia's Denisova cave. In 2010, scientists analyzing a tiny fragment of finger bone discovered it belonged to a previously unknown kind of human, now called Denisovans. Further study revealed something even more remarkable. In 2018, DNA from another fossil fragment in the cave showed that the individual's mother was a Neanderthal and the father was a Denisovan. This was not just genetic similarity from distant ancestry. This was a first-generation hybrid, a living record of two distinct human groups meeting and producing a child. Discoveries like this were once unthinkable. For much of the 20th century, the scientific consensus held that Homo sapiens replaced Neanderthals and other archaic humans without interbreeding. The so-called replacement model dominated anthropology. But the rise of ancient DNA sequencing, the early 2000s, changed everything. By extracting and analyzing genetic material from fossilized bones, scientists could directly compare the genomes of ancient humans to those of people alive today. The results were undeniable. Every non-African person alive today carries some Neanderthal DNA, typically around 1 to 2%. Many people in parts of Asia and Oceania carry Denisovan DNA as well, in some cases up to 5%. These findings mean that interbreeding between different human species was not only possible, but happened multiple times in multiple places. The family tree of humanity is no longer a straight line from primitive to modern. It is more like a braided stream, with branches separating, flowing alongside each other, and sometimes merging back together. Some fossils illustrate this complexity in physical form. In Romania, a skull known as Oase once shows features of both modern humans and Neanderthals. Genetic analysis suggests the individual had a Neanderthal ancestor, just 4 to 6 generations back. In Israel, remains from the site of Kofsa show modern human features, but date to a time when Neanderthals also lived in the region, making interactions likely. In Africa, fossils like those from Jebel Irhoud in Morocco reveal a blend of ancient and modern traits, hinting that our own species emerged from a network of interbreeding populations across the continent rather than a single origin point. The implications of these hybrid fossils reach beyond anatomy and genetics. They challenge our cultural understanding of what it means to be human. For centuries, the concept of a pure human lineage has been tied to ideas of superiority, separation, and identity. But the fossil and genetic evidence show that we are all products of mixing. There was no single pure human race in the past, only interconnected populations exchanging genes, ideas, and technologies. Modern genetic studies have even traced how ancient interbreeding continues to affect us today. Some Neanderthal DNA in modern humans is linked to aspects of our immune system, helping us resist certain pathogens. Other inherited traits may influence skin and hair characteristics, metabolism, and even our risk for certain diseases. Denisovan DNA in people from Tibet has been tied to an adaptation that allows more efficient use of oxygen at high altitudes, a trait that likely helped populations thrive in the thin air of the Himalayas. These are living echoes of encounters tens of thousands of years ago, still shaping our biology in the present. The story of hybrid humans also has a philosophical dimension. It invites us to see humanity not as a single, isolated species, but as part of a broader human family. Neanderthals, Denisovans, and other archaic humans were not evolutionary dead ends. They contributed to the genetic and cultural tapestry that became us. Their tools, art, and survival strategies were shared and adapted across groups. Cave paintings, symbolic objects, and burial practices appear in multiple human species, suggesting that the capacity for culture was widespread, not unique to Homo sapiens. These insights come from the convergence of multiple scientific disciplines. Archaeology provides the physical context of where and how these fossils were found. Anthropology interprets their significance in the framework of human evolution. Genetics delivers the molecular evidence that confirms or challenges those interpretations. And advances in technology, such as high-resolution CT scanning and improved dating methods, allow researchers to study fossils in detail without damaging them, revealing subtle anatomical features that might otherwise be missed. Each discovery raises new questions. How many distinct human species lived in the last 200,000 years? How often did they encounter each other? Were these meetings friendly, hostile, or something in between? Did interbreeding happen by chance or through sustained contact over generations? The answers may be complex, varying across time and place. The search for answers is far from over. New sites are being excavated every year, from caves in Southeast Asia to ancient river valleys in Africa. Each has the potential to yield fossils that could change the story again. Advances in environmental DNA techniques, which can detect genetic material left behind in soil or sediments, may allow scientists to find traces of ancient humans even when no bones remain. As we expand our knowledge, the family tree of humanity will likely grow more tangled. We may discover new branches entirely, groups of humans who lived and interacted with our ancestors, but left little trace until now. Some could be close relatives, like the Denisovans. Others might be more distant cousins, revealing evolutionary experiments that flourish briefly before disappearing. These discoveries also have practical implications for the future. Understanding how ancient interbreeding shaped our immune systems, metabolism, and adaptations could inform modern medicine. It could help us understand why some populations are more vulnerable to certain diseases or better suited to particular environments. The deep past is not just a record of where we came from. It is a resource for understanding who we are now and how we might adapt in the future. The story of hybrid human fossils reminds us that evolution is not a march toward perfection, but a complex web of survival, adaptation, and connection. Our ancestors were not isolated pioneers, but members of a diverse and interconnected human community. The boundaries between species were more porous than we imagined, and the legacy of those crossings lives on in each of us. As we continue to explore the fossil record and decode ancient genomes, we are rewriting our own origin story. It is a story that belongs to all of us, regardless of where we live or what we look like. because it is written in our bones and our DNA. It is the story of a species that is, and always has been, a blend of many. So the next time you look in the mirror, remember that you are not just the product of Homo sapiens. You carry the legacy of Neanderthals, Denisovans, and perhaps other humans we have yet to name. Your face is shaped by millions of years of encounters, migrations, and unions across continents and ages. The blood in your veins is a record of journeys taken by people long gone, but never truly lost. In that sense, we are all hybrids, living proof of a shared past more intricate and beautiful than we once believed.